Hello students, in this class I will explain one more concept which is useful for competitive exam. So the concept name is thermal stress. Okay, you know that if you have a rod, we can increase the length by applying force or weight, isn't it? If you apply force, definitely the length of the rod will increases. That means in the rod a restoring force will develop. That the restoring force per area is called as stress. Then what is meant by thermal stress? What we can able to expand the length only by applying weight? No. Other forms, that means other way is also there. That is, if you consider a rod and if you supply some heat energy, okay, if you supply some heat energy to this rod, definitely the temperature of the rod will increases. On heating, you know that most of all the substance will expands. Like that, here the length of the rod is also expands. That means the length will increases. What happens here means, here you can consider the atoms. If you supply heat energy to this rod, the atoms or molecule will observe that heat energy. Due to that, the vibration of atoms will increase. That means the kinetic energy will increases. So if the kinetic energy increases means it will need some more space to execute that motion or that activity. For that activity, it is needing more space means definitely what happens means the length of the rod will increases. So here not only we can increase the length by adding some load, definitely we can able to increase the length by heating the rod also, such that the temperature of rod will increases. So based on this concept you will study in next chapter, that is thermal properties of matter, but some applications are there in this chapter also. So some basic concept I will explain. That is here delta L. Delta L means you know that change in length, isn't it? And here for this rod we have defined Young's modulus. Young's modulus means Y is equals to FL divided by A into delta L, and F you can write it as Y A delta L divided by L, isn't it? Here by applying force also we can change the length. Then here by applying by increasing the temperature also we can increase the length, and that length, that change in length, actually it is directly proportional to its original length. If original length is more, then change in length will also more, and that change in length directly proportional to change in temperature. On these factors the change in length depends. Okay, that is also obviously the temperature will be, is more means again the length, change in length is also more. So if you consider this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So from equation 1 and 2 you can write that the change in length is directly proportional to L, and that is original length, and change in temperature, that is delta T. So here if you remove the proportionality constant, you have to add some constant value, right? That constant is called as alpha. This is proportionality sign. This is now I am introducing the proportionality constant, that is called as alpha. This alpha is called as coefficient coefficient of linear expansion, coefficient of linear expansion. Okay, then alpha L into delta t. So this is the formula, that is the change in length due to change in temperature. There F equals YA delta L by L. Here also you can see the change in length is equals to FL divided by Y into A. Okay, the change in length will depend upon these factors while applying load or weight. But while supplying heat energy, due to increase in temperature, the change in length depends upon this original length and change in temperature, and where alpha is called proportionality constant, that is called as coefficient of linear expansion. Then how to understood that alpha means? Alpha we can write it as change in length by original length into delta t. So like this we can define the alpha. Change in length by original length, in this chapter you have know that strain, and change in length by original length, mathematically we can say that fractional change in length. Okay, so alpha is equals to fractional change in length when change in temperature is equals to 1 degree Celsius. That means now the temperature is room temperature, let us consider 27 degrees Celsius. So by supplying heat energy, the temperature becomes 28 degree Celsius. That definitely the change in temperature is 1 degree, no. That means for any material you increase temperature by 1 degree Celsius, then the fractional change in length is numerically equal to coefficient of linear expansion. And like y value is different for different material, here also alpha value is different for different material. Okay, so no, see here delta L equals L alpha delta T also you can write, or alpha L into delta T. So here this is force. What type of force means? This is force, and force by area. Force by area. Force by area is called stress. Okay, and remaining is what? Y delta L divided by L. Y delta L divided by L means, in this formula you can able to see that delta L by L. Delta L by L is equals to, you can write it as alpha into delta T, isn't it? So this change in length by original length, or fractional change in length, or in mechanical properties of solids we will define it as strain. Due to heating, the strain formula is alpha into delta T. Okay, then here delta L by L, that is if the increase in rod, that is due to increase in temperature, means the delta L by L you can write it as F by A. F by A, this formula is when applying load. Suppose the increase in length is due to increase in temperature, means delta L by L you can write it as Y alpha delta T. Okay, then normally F by A is stress. This stress developed because of heating, means the formula become Y alpha delta T, and now this is called as thermal stress. Okay, like this we will define thermal stress formula, Y alpha delta T, where delta T is change in temperature, Y is Young's modulus, alpha is coefficient of linear expansion. In this way we will define coefficient of linear expansion for different materials. We will increase 1 degree Celsius temperature and we will see what is the fractional change in length. Okay, if that fractional change in length value is more, means the alpha value is more. It is less, means the alpha value is less. So note down this concept. and this formula is important, and F equals YA alpha delta T also you can write. If you shift A this side, then F by A is thermal stress here. F means here this is called thermal force. Okay, this is thermal force formula. Note down. And the last concept in mechanical properties of solids, this may ask in PO also, that is called Poisson's ratio. Okay, what is meant by Poisson's ratio means, Poisson's ratio is defined as, it is the Poisson's ratio, it is defined as, it is the ratio of lateral, it is ratio of lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. Okay, so what is meant by lateral strain, what is meant by longitudinal strain means, again consider a rod. For this rod, it is suspended from ceiling. If you add some weight to this rod, the length of the rod will increases. If the length of the rod will increases means, we can say it is at longitudinal strain, change in length per original length. Then what is lateral strain means, as the length increases, the radius will decreases, the rod will become thinner. So this lateral strain is defined as like longitudinal strain. Strain definition is change in dimension by original dimension, or change in configuration by original configuration. So here the radius is changing means the change in radius by original radius. Change in radius by original radius is called lateral strain. Longitudinal strain means, you know that, change in length by original length. Change in length by original length is called longitudinal strain. So here you can take minus sign. Why minus sign means, as length increases, the radius will decreases. The negative sign indicates the radius is decreasing. So this is called Poisson's ratio. So by this concept, this chapter is the theory part is completed, and in starting class I explained that rigid body, then which one elasticity, plasticity. One example, I forgot to give one more example, which is nearest to elastic body. That means we cannot have any perfectly elastic body. Okay, that is ideal concept. Okay, the nearest material to elastic body. For 1 mark they may ask which is very nearest to elastic body means quartz. Okay. So in nature we don't have perfectly elastic or perfectly plastic body. Okay. And next I will explain some problems which is useful for your PU exam. Yes. Now I will explain some problems based on these concepts what you have studied in mechanical properties of solids. Okay. The first problem is a structural steel rod has a radius of 10 millimeter. First you have to write the given values in the question. Okay, what are the given values means? Radius is given, R is equals to 10 millimeter. That means 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. And a length is given as 1 meter. Okay, and a 100 kilonewton force stretches it along its length. So force value is F. F value is how much? Means 100 kilonewton. That means kilo is 10 to the power 3 Newton, or you can write it as 10 square 10 3, that is 10 to the power 5 Newton. This is force value. So what we have to find means stress we have to find, elongation and strain we have to find. That means if you consider a rod, okay, the length value is 1 meter and its radius value is 10 millimeter. For this rod, force is acting, that is 100 kilonewton. So to find the stress, we know the formula. Stress is equals to force, restoring force per unit area. Okay, here deforming force is equal to restoring force. So F equals 100 kilonewton means directly you can write 10 to the power 5 divided by area. Area means you can consider pi r square. So pi r square. Pi r square means 10 to the power 5. Pi means its value is 3.14 and radius value is 10 into 10 to the power minus 3. No. So 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square. Then the answer you will get, if you calculate, stress is equals to, in the numerator 10 power 5, in the denominator 3.14, and here 10 means 10 to the power minus 2 whole square, 10 to the power minus 4, this equals 10 to the power minus 4 goes to numerator means plus 4, that is 10 to the power 9 divided by 3.14. So calculate this value. How much you will get means 1 divided by 3.14. Okay, that is the final, you will get 3.18. Okay, 0.318 into 10 to the power 9. What is its units? Newton per meter square, right? Or you can write it as 3.18 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter square. This is the answer. And next we have to find elongation. And remember some values of Young's modulus of steel. Young's modulus of steel value, that is 2 into 10 to the power 11 Newton per meter square. Okay, in the question itself it will give, here you remember that value, why is Young's modulus value for steel and Young's modulus value for copper. Okay, Young's modulus value for copper value is 1.1 into 10 to the power 11 Newton per meter square. Then Young's modulus value for brass. Young's modulus value for brass value also you remember, that is Y brass, that is equals 0.91 into 10 to the power 11 Newton per meter square. Okay, this is the Young's modulus value of copper, steel and brass. If you see in NCERT textbook, for different materials a table is given. In that table, for different materials they have mentioned the Young's modulus and modulus of rigidity and bulk modulus. No need to remember, but in the question itself they will give these values. Here there is no given data as Y and brass, that's why I written. So after calculating stress, 3.18 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter square. Next we have to find elongation. Right, elongation means delta L, change in length. For that we know that Young's modulus formula, that is y is equals to FL divided by A into delta L. And what type of material is given? Steel. Young's modulus value of steel is written, that is 2 into 10 to the power 11. First I will shift delta L this side, because this quantity we have to find. Delta L is equals to FL divided by Y into A. Delta L is equals to force is 100 kilonewton means 10 to the power 5, and length is 1 meter. Okay, divided by Young's modulus of steel, 2 into 10 to the power 11. 2 into 10 to the power 11, and area. Area means pi r square, right? Pi r square, A is equals to 3.14 into this r square, 10 to the power 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square. Then area A equals, how much you will get? 3.14 into 10 here 10 to the power minus 2, 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, that is 3.14 into 10 to the power minus 4. So this equals 10 to the power, that means 10 to the power 5 in the numerator, 10 to the power 5 divided by 11 minus 4 means how much you will get? Plus 7. Plus 7 if it goes to numerator means plus 7, if it goes to numerator means minus 7. Minus 7 plus 5 means you will get minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 2 into 3.14 means you will get 6.28, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 2 divided by 6.28. Calculate that answer. 1 divided by 6.28. 1 divided by 6.28. Okay, 1 divided by 6.28 I got, that is 0.159. 0.159 into 10 to the power minus 4, or this you can write it as 0.159 into 10 to the power minus 4 meters. Okay, 10 to the power minus 4, sorry, 10 to the power minus 2 here. That means if you write 1.59 millimeter also you can write. If you shift one digit, that will become 10 to the power minus 3. The change in length is 1.59 millimeter, that is elongation. And next we are asking to find strain. Strain means, that is formula C, strain is equals to change in length by original length. So strain is how much? Change in length is 1.59 into 10 to the power minus 3 meters divided by 1 meter. Meter will get cancel. Strain doesn't have any units. Okay, that strain is equals to, you will get the answer 1.59 into 10 to the power minus 3. In percentage wise means you can write it as 1.59 into 10 to the power minus 3, or 0.159 into 10 to the power minus 2 also. Percentage wise means multiply and divided by 100. This 100 and this 10 to the power minus 2 will get cancel. Then the answer we will get 1.59. We can write it as, divided by 100 we can write it as percentage, that is 0.16 percent. So this is the value of strain in percentage. So we have calculated stress and elongation and next strain. Okay. I hope you understood this problem. So while substituting the values, substitute in SI unit. If it is in the ratio means no need, that will get cancelled. And second problem. In the second problem, a copper wire of length 2.2 meter and steel wire of length 1.6 meter, both of diameter 3 millimeter, area are connected 3 millimeter are connected end to end. When stretched by a load, the net elongation is found to be 0.70 millimeter. Obtain the load applied. So you can consider like this. This is a copper wire. Okay, its length is 2.2 meter, and another wire steel. This length is 1.6 meters. Right. Both of same diameter means the area is same. Okay, area of copper wire and area of steel wire is same, are connected end to end when stretched by load. So here we are applying some load. Okay, this is the load. When stretched by load, the net elongation is found to be, that means the length has increased. The copper wire length also increased and the steel wire length also increased. The net elongation found to be 0.7 millimeter. The net elongation means in the question change in length of copper plus change in length of steel. This is total elongation. The net elongation of copper and elongation of steel, that value is given 0.7 millimeter. Okay, and length value of copper is given, length value of steel is given, and diameter also given. We have to find the load applied, that means F value we have to calculate. So for that we should know what is the value of Y value of copper and Y value of steel. For that what you will do, you know that Young's modulus formula. Young's modulus for steel I can able to write it as, for both the wires the force is same. So force on copper is equals to force on steel is same. That force I will consider it as F. And diameter is same means area of copper is equals to area of steel, that I will take it as A. But Young's modulus are different. Young's modulus of steel is F. Length means copper length, I will write first copper length divided by area is I took as A, right, force is F, right, then delta L, that is change in length of copper. Okay, this is, let us consider first equation. And similarly steel, Young's modulus of steel means force is F itself, A, then delta, this one LS divided by delta LS. So let us take it as second equation. We have to find the value of F. For that YC by YS, take the ratio, divide equation 1/2, such that you will get F LC divided by A into delta LC multiplied by this will becomes A delta LS divided by LS. Here F by A, LS into F, right? F by A will get cancel. Then YC by YS ratio, you will get it as LC by LS is equals to LC by LS into delta LS divided by delta LC. So we know the value of YC, YS, LS and LC and LS. I will substitute those values. Copper value is 1.1 into 10 to the power 11. Okay, next step, this is 1.1 into 10 to the power 11 divided by 2 into 10 to the power 11. Okay, this equals length of copper 2.2 divided by length of steel 1.6 multiplying by, that is delta LS by delta LC, and you can see that here 8 times, here 11 times. Okay, so 22 by 16 if you consider, 2 8s are 2 11s are. Here what I will do, 1.1 it is there here, right? I will write 11. If I write 11, I can able to change it here 10. This 11 and 11 will get cancel, and here 2 1 times and 2 4 times. Calculation part you can do yourself. So 10 1.1 10 to the power 10 in the numerator divided by here 10 to the power 11. This equals what we will get, delta LS divided by delta LC. So 10 to the power 10 divided by 10 to the power 11, here 4 is there, that 4 will go here, 4 into 10 to the power 10 divided by 4 into 10 to the power divided by 10 to the power 11. If you calculate how much you will get, 4 into 10 to the power minus 1 is equals to delta LS divided by delta LC. Okay, this will become 4 into 10 to the power minus 1. I can write it as 4 by 10. 4 by 10 means 2 times and here 5 times. So now you can see the ratio of delta LS by delta LC. The ratio of delta LS by delta LC is equals to 2 by 5. And we know that delta LC plus delta LS is equals to 0.7 millimeter, right? Okay, I will try this side. So here in the place of delta LC, the ratio is nothing but delta LS by delta LC is nothing but 2 by 5. Delta LS becomes 2 by 5, or I will write delta LC by delta LS becomes equals to 5 by 2. Then in place of delta LC, I will write 5 by 2, that is a 2.5 delta LS plus delta LS. This is equals to, I can write this 0.7 millimeter as 7 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. Okay, this is 3.5 delta LS is equals to 7 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. That is 3.151 times, here 2 times. Then delta LS I got 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. This is change in length of steel. The steel length will changes by 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. So the total length is delta LC plus delta LS. This equals 0.7 millimeter. I can write it as 0.7 into 10 to the power minus 4. So delta LS value is 2 into 10 to the power minus 4. If I substitute here, I can get the delta LC value is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. So here we calculated delta LC value and delta LS value. So after calculating delta LC and delta LS, okay, the final thing is we have to find the value of F. So to find the value of F is equals to the basic formula. Y is equals to F LC divided by F LC divided by A into delta LC, isn't it? This is the formula for copper. You can take the formula of copper or you can take formula of steel. If you take the formula of copper, you have to substitute the delta LC value. If you take the value of steel, you have to place the delta LS value. Then you can able to find the F value. And still we need to find the area in this formula. Okay, we have arrived at last step. Still we need to find the area of this wire. So here area A is equals to pi r square. So A is equals to pi means 3.14 multiplied by r square. In the question diameter is given. Diameter is 3 millimeter. Diameter 3 millimeter means radius 1.5 millimeter. Okay, 2 times the radius is nothing but diameter. So 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square. So find the value of area. Area is equals to, how much you will get means, (1.5) into 1.5, that is 2.25, you will get multiplied by 3.14, so 7 point, you will get the area 7 point, this answer 7.065 into 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, 7.065 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. This is the area. So every value now I will substitute here to find the value of F. Then F is equals to, we can write it as A into delta LC into YC divided by LC. Substitute and find the final answer. That is F is equals to, A value is 7.065 into 10 to the power minus 6 multiplied by change in length of copper. Change in length of copper is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 multiplied by Young's modulus of copper. Young's modulus of copper is 1.1 into 10 to the power 11. Okay, so this is divided by the length of the copper. Initial length of the copper is 2.2 meter. So find the final answer. So how much you will get? 7.065 into 5 into 1.1. Here you will get, in the denominator you will get 38.85, and that is divided by 2.2, that divided by 2.2 means you will get 17.66. 17.66. Here minus 6, minus 4, that becomes minus 10, right? Minus 10 and plus 11. Minus 10 and plus 11 means that you will get 1 into 10 to the power 1 Newton. So this is the load applied on the copper and steel rod. Thank you.